Welcome back to Local Focus. I know we've taken some time off. We did not get canceled. I don't think it's possible to have your show canceled on ProV Networks. I'm not sure. I would have to see. But here we are back. Excited about today. Basketball season is complete. We're into baseball season. One quick plug for baseball. Former guest of mine, Achille Karras, Cueva Bear, shortstop. Into the starting lineup at UNM. Hasn't left the lineup since. It's been fun to watch him hit the cover off the baseball early in the baseball season. Go to ProVNetworks.com, check out baseball schedule. We have lots of baseball going on right now. But back to basketball, and I want to bring back to the program Big Smooth, Kenyon Aguino. Welcome back.
So thank you for having me.
What a season, man. What a season.
So it was a good one. It was a fun one.
I had a question for you at the pit floor on our usual, it seems like we end every season together down there, right? Like that's become a tradition. And I stumped you with a question this year. I asked you, do you ever stop to think about like this isn't normal? You're kind of like making history out here, and you didn't really have an answer for that. So have you had a chance to think about it a little bit and kind of like what you're doing is pretty unheard of, right?
Yeah, just thinking, just like all the hard work we put in, all the practices, all the early mornings, the late nights, we all put in, all the 14, we had our JV combined with us this year, so that really helped us.
And your JV grow. Like never loses, because when I go to broadcast your games, we always get there early, and they are just beating the hell out of teams. Like has your JV lost this year?
They lost one.
Wow.
They lost one too. I think they lost to Rio, but other than that, they were just dominant the whole year. Just a really good group of guys. Our young dude is really good, and we're always all together. So we always kind of build off of each other. They build off of us, and then they're going against us like at the end of the day. So that really helps them. So
to get back to that question about just what you're doing and how unprecedented it is. So tell our, like 3 years now, how many losses have you been a part of in your 3 seasons at Volcano?
2.
That's less than a loss a season, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever stop to think about like just how crazy that is?
Yeah, it's just unreal sometimes, Just it's just crazy to think of only 2 losses in 2 years, but when we play good and play right, like there's not really many teams that could beat us. When we play good, play hard, just have all the mixture, everybody's into it together. So that helps us a lot.
And like, how do new guys, you talked about the young guys, right? So how do young guys kind of like, do they see what's going on, and are they like in awe at first, or are they ready to like, oh yeah, I want to be part of that? What's that process of integrating new guys into your culture?
Some of them are in awe, some of them are ready to go, but it just starts really like the summer. Like we invite some young guys in the summer, now in June, and then August we have our preseason, and just from there we're just building it every time. We're introducing our offense, introducing our defense, and just how to play hard, play with effort, and then just our culture is the biggest thing. And
then obviously you do club during the summer, and you have friends on other teams. Like, do those guys ever just like, man, you never lose, bro? Like, what do those guys say about what you're doing there?
Yeah, they just a lot of dislikeness towards our team. They just say that, but it's just good to be part of such success. So.
And it's a hard team to dislike, right? Too, because you guys are not like, you're not arrogant about it. You just kind of go about, handle your business. You look up and you just took a 30-point L, or you've squeezed out some tight ones too. But you guys are not one of those teams that's easy to root against either. Like, you go about it the right way, and talk about that.
This is part of our culture. We always have a saying. Like this year, we had the word finish, and then just a bunch of words tied into it. The biggest one is always humility. Like Coach Brown's always on us about that. Like after like a big win, or after just any win, just having humility, going the next day to school, having humility about it. So that's the biggest thing.
And I think on the floor, it carries onto the court too, because I mean, you guys don't have a lot of guys that just, do a lot of mouthing off to officials or things like that. It just seems like you guys really carry yourself in a certain way. Where did that come from?
Just our culture, It's always just goes back to our culture, but it's just the older guys too. Like when I was a freshman, it was always you always looked up and you saw like Money and Caden, Jaden, Oscar, Tyler, and all of them. You never saw them doing any of that. So it's just examples is probably helps a lot too.
What's the stupidest thing you did as a freshman, and who made it right? Which leader said, "Hey, bro, we don't do that here"?
I think it was probably a run or something like that. But I think it was like we were having a hard practice, messed up. So we were running, and I think it was like me, and I think it was like Ryan and David or something that didn't make it, and Tyler was on us. Tyler Martinez.
Yeah.
He's the one that he would always put everybody in check.
You guys obviously just don't lose, so that there has to be a mindset when you walk into every gym like, hey, we're winning tonight, right? But then that's also carried over to like, you got to be able to feel it on the court. Sometimes opponents just don't think they can beat you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes you feel it, within like even at the start of the game, but throughout the game, just like wearing them down, you just kind of feel that like they're just kind of wearing out, and they kind of just lose it. So, but just credit to our hard work.
You think that's equal parts execution and mental, or is it more one of the other?
It's a both, definitely. Just execution, and then just being mentally locked in, mentally strong. Just not letting anything really affect us, like bring us down, bring us too up, and just staying consistent.
I think my broadcast partner, Steve Davis, the president of ProView Networks here, he made an interesting observation one time. And, some of his stuff does make sense, so I listened to it. He said the difference between Volcano and everybody else is everybody else has to play a perfect game all 32 minutes to win. Volcano doesn't have to play a perfect 32 minutes to win. Like, you guys feel that on the floor, like you're always that one quarter, that one run, and that just puts teams away.
Yeah, just our mindset before the game is always trying to do a full 32 minutes, trying to play a full game completely. It doesn't always happen, but as long as we don't get too low, it just helps us, And then we have a bunch of guys that step up. So one guy's having a bad game, we always have the next man up, and everybody's just kind of holding each other up.
All right. Take our first break here. When we get back with Kenyon, I want to talk about transition to leadership on this team, right? You're fortunate to play in a program that's won every year you've been there, but now you've transitioned into the guy, right? So I want to talk about that when we get back.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Back with Volcano Vista's Kenyon Aguino, we were talking about just, the team, the program, not experiencing any losses. But it's been a real cool journey to watch you from freshman on a really good team where there were other weapons, obviously, right, with Jaquan and all the other pieces. And then watch it slowly transition to your team, right, where now one of the things we talked about a lot on the air, one of the things that really made you guys stand apart was, like, when you needed a bucket, everyone in the building knew where the ball was going, and it still worked, right? Like, talk about that transition from freshman year to now, where it's clearly you're the marked man, it's your team, everyone knows where the ball is going, and you're still thriving.
Just, freshman year with all the pieces, kind of knew, just knowing your role and stuff, and then transition to sophomore year, it's just that whole summer, off season, just building up, working, trying to work towards that position of being the guy. And then just a sophomore to here, just working as hard as I can, and then just leadership is probably what helped too, and then just gaining the trust of all my teammates and my coaches.
And I think what's really cool to see now is like now you guys have again another young guy flourishing in the program that's going to get his turn to be the guy in a couple of seasons, right? Like how cool is that for you now to the same progress you went through, now you get to put your arm around someone's shoulder and mentor a freshman. Talk about that.
Just it's good, just helping him, helping him grow, just helping him through all the practices, all the games, just kind of being a mentor, just trying to show him what's right, show him what's wrong, and just trying to just show him what our culture is about.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but you are already, if you think about it, the most decorated boys basketball player in the state. And what I mean is 3 years, 3 state championships, 2 Gatorade Player of the Year awards already under your belt. That's unheard of, right? Like the last time there was a back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year, do you know when that was? Yeah, well, you were just little smooth back then. It was Gordo Castillo in Las Cruces, right? So it's been a long time, right? So like that's a big accomplishment. You ever think about that?
Yeah, just all the support I have, from everywhere, from up north, from here.
Well, you have like a fan club from up north. Like it's crazy. Like I see you signing autographs after the game. Like you have a following from up north. Talk about that.
Yeah, just they always saw me grow up. They always just saw me playing in the up north. It was really only just one league, so like everybody's there. So everybody saw me. My grandparents on the star up there, so everybody's growing up there, and then just all my family up there. The support's just unreal.
Do you ever get any crazy Northerners that are like, "Hey, you could have played at Española"? You ever get that?
All the time. All the time. They're always telling me that. Going to my grandma's always calling me like, "Oh, this person said that you should have went to Española."
Right? Yeah, but I saw it after the game, man. Like you got a Northern fan club, man, and they're like little. Well, okay. What do you remember the first time a little kid asked you for an autograph? What was that? What was that like? Was that little? Were you like, what?
Yeah.
How surreal was that? Tell me about that.
It was crazy because it was just like, it was just like I think it was like my freshman year, one of the later games or later in the season, but it was just crazy because it was like I was the one signing, and like normally like always growing up you always wanted to get someone else's signature, and now someone was asking you, so it was crazy.
I remember asking JB White about that, and I remember him kind of. We were talking during one of the commercials a little bit more about it, and he was like, you know how coaches always tell you you're a role model, act right, do this and that. He's like, coaches always say that, but he remembered like, whoa, when the first time I was asked to sign something, then it kind of like really became real for him. Like similar thoughts?
Yeah, definitely, because it's like they're always saying that, and then all of a sudden they ask, and then you see on social media like the kids are like they're coming to try to take pictures with you. All of them are saying they look up to you and stuff. So it's just a surreal feeling.
With that comes a certain responsibility, right? Too. Do you feel that?
Yeah, just always trying to do the right thing. Just trying to lead by example, set the example, and just not give anybody an excuse.
We try really hard, believe it or not, to not have knuckleheads on the program, right? Like I always ask when I want to invite someone on, I always ask a coach like, "Hey, is this someone that I would like off the court?" Because we try to have good guys on the program as well, right? So that's something that's important to you.
Yeah, definitely. Just always trying to do the right thing, always setting that example, and just always having like our core values just on and off the court. And
what are those core values at Volcano?
Humility, family, integrity. We have a bunch of them. So, but those really help us throughout the whole year. So,
talk about the family piece a little bit, because you do see that. That's one thing that you go enough to Volcano games, it definitely shows, right?
Yeah. All of us hang out a lot, like on and off the court. Like we're always with each other. After practices, we always stay in the locker room and we're always talking we always go out to eat together. So. I feel like that really helped us, just our chemistry was just better than a lot of teams.
So I want to bring you back to an exchange you and I had earlier in the year. You kind of got on me about music. I don't know if you remember, but you were getting taped up. I was, getting ready for a broadcast, and I asked you about your pregame playlist, right? And you were like, "No, you don't know anything about this, right?" Remember that?
Yeah.
So what I thought we could do is, you have your phone with you?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so let's compare our top 3 most frequently played.
All right.
All right, so our audience can see how different we are in music here. Let me bring this up here. All right, so what's at the top of your top 25 most played?
Hold on. Let me.
And who usually has control of the music and the aux cord at Volcano Vista?
It's usually me.
Is it? Okay.
I'm on the odds. Yep.
All right. So what's on the top of your top 25 most played there?
I got we had a OT7 Kwani dog talk.
All right. See, mine is All Around You, Sturgill Simpson. It's a little different. What's your number 2? What's your number 2?
Made No Sense by Youngboy.
Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton. All right. What's your third one?
It's Nina by 21 Savage.
I got Drinking Problem by Midland. Who will be in Taos, by the way, in a couple of months. So, see, like, this is live television. Now I'm getting a call. All right. So we do have a little music differences there. But how long have you had control of the aux cord? Is that something that's passed up and down? Like, did you like
the freshman year? Didn't touch it.
No,
nah.
Who had it then?
It was I think it was Tyler or Caden.
Okay.
And Tyler, I think they had it. Then last year I had it. It was like me.
Those guys were a little crazy, right? Some of those football guys you played with in your early years, they were a little crazy, right?
Yeah, just
but they gave that
kids.
team some toughness, though,
yeah,
right?
Definitely,
I mean, they were fun to
definitely.
watch.
They helped us.
All right, then who had the aux cord after that?
It was me and Micah.
Is there anyone on the team that just has a totally different taste in music? That's like, there's always that one dude that's like totally off the path, right? Is there one?
I don't know if we had that this year. There might have been, and they just never really said anything. Yeah, but
they knew their role.
Yeah. So I don't know.
What, after a season like this, where again just the one loss, another championship, what goes into postseason for the team and for you as an individual? Like, when do you guys have like that official end of the year kind of conversation and all those? Take us through that week after the pit.
So Saturday the final state game, and then Sunday rest, and then Monday we're back in school. So we have basketball class. So we'll get everybody together for basketball class. That's kind of our final one for the seniors, and kind of just get together. Kind of our tradition is just having the seniors talk. Have them say something about all of the underclassmen, the whole team. Thanking the coaches, and then we kind of just send them off, and they don't have to come back anymore. And then we
Is
just
there
rest.
anyone? Well, wait a minute. Basketball class. Is there anyone possibly in that class that doesn't have an A? Like, how could coach justify that?
Like what?
That doesn't have an A. Yeah.
Nah.
Like if you checked on the internet and your grade went down to like a 99, like how could that happen, right? Like,
I don't even
so
know.
that's kind of like right. Like you win state every year, you lose one game, right? I would imagine that coach couldn't give anyone a B, right?
Nah. No, everybody's passing with the A+.
Right. So your seniors, they give the talk, they move on, and then is it right away into goal setting for the next year, or how does that look?
Yeah, they coach kind of just talks to us. It's like that he'll have meetings with us eventually, and that we just need to build off of this. And just the biggest thing is just keeping our culture. Sticking to our culture, acting like we would and like when we were in the season.
And then what about for you individually? Like, what does your process look like? Because obviously you go into club pretty soon after the season, but I would imagine there's some kind of end of the year process for you as an individual too.
Yeah, this year I took the week after. I didn't really do anything. I just rested up, and then right after that week I started again. Started getting back in the gym, trying to get in the weight room, get more muscle on me, gain a little bit of weight, and just improve my game overall. Just everything about it.
So, like, are there still particular things that you're going into the off season working on, or is it just all around, or like take me into that, right? Because I'm sure when you're young, there's like, hey, I need to be able to finish over both shoulders, things like that, right? But now at this point, right, like you got 2 Gatorades, 3 titles. Are you just overall trying to improve everything, or is it still little nuanced pieces that you're working on?
It's a little bit of both, trying to add things into my game, and then the biggest thing is staying sharp at everything, but trying to get always trying to get better at shooting. But my biggest thing this year is just handles and shooting. Is my
I think you
thing.
should bring back the sky hook. What do you think about adding a sky hook to that repertoire?
I have a little sky hook.
Do you?
Yeah.
You never broke it out?
Nah, I just never broke it out. I was too scared to miss.
Okay. So maybe like that's something that you could
Perfect.
break out on a broadcast, right? Like it's a TV game.
Yeah.
And you could break out a sky hook for it. Maybe wait till the fourth quarter, like when But do you think you could just break out one sky hook? It's got to be a game that I'm doing though.
All right.
All
I'll break out one.
And then what about, like, you talked a lot about staying in town, helping a lot of the young guys, right? So what are you doing with young guys right now during the offseason to get them ready for the Volcano Vista way?
Just trying to keep them in the gym, and then just trying to, like, even now for AAU, just trying to have them, like, play hard, and then just remind them of what we're like, what we do on and off the court. But just trying to help their game is the biggest thing, Just trying to help them build and gain confidence.
Who helped you the most with that when you were coming up through the program?
It was when I was a freshman. It was those seniors.
All of them.
Yeah, because they would after the season we would have we playing like this week, and we're playing a little AAU tournament, and our seniors would coach us. So that's pretty fun. So they help us, and then Sean probably helped me a lot the most. Because we were always going against each other, always in the gym together. So,
all right, we talked about those 2 losses. Like, I guess when you only have 2 in 3 years, I would imagine they really stand out, right? So, tell me about those nights when you're not used to losing. Tell me about those 2 nights.
The first one hurt. We were really good game, and then just had a bad second half. They came back on us, and then that one hurt. That one hurt a lot because I missed the 3 to tie, so that one stung. And then the one this year in Hobbs was just because I remember we played them earlier in the year, and we felt really good against them. Then we beat them by about like 20. Played really good defense on them, but just didn't execute our game plan. So. That one stung. Then we had to stay another night, so that's what hurt.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to do in Hobbs. And after a loss, I would imagine that's pretty miserable.
But yeah, Coach Brown did a good job, and brought us together. Brought more joy to us. We hung out in the lobby, and just told us that we're gonna see them 5 more times in the year. So, but wasn't the good thing was that it didn't happen in March. Was his biggest thing that he was telling us. So. That really helped us, and I feel like the loss helped us, grow.
Well, you hear coaches say that a lot, right? Like, oh, that loss helped us. We needed that. I mean, is that true? Do you believe that?
Definitely.
Why?
Just because, my sophomore year, I remember we were undefeated all the way to our first game of district when we lost to Cleveland, and we weren't playing like. We were always up and down. Like we weren't really like a good consistent. We didn't build a good consistency, but we got away with some ones that maybe we shouldn't have won. So losing that really just refocused us, kind of took some weight off our shoulders. But it just helped us because we just grew, and you just getting that one feeling, you just don't want to lose again. So
you mentioned that weight off your shoulders, right? You were part of an undefeated team. How much added pressure every night starts to build when you're running that streak as an undefeated team?
Yeah, you try not to pay too much big of attention to it because it's just you try to just focus on yourself, focus within the team. But it gets to some guys, but if you do a really good job about it and you're just mentally strong, you just don't let it get to you.
Take another break here. I want to recap the state tournament this season and talk about what possibly could be up next for Big Smooth. Well, hindsight's always easy, right? But going into this season, who did you think would be probably your biggest challenger to a repeat?
That was a lot. This year there was saw a lot of good competition. Oregon Mountain definitely was one of the biggest ones. Cleveland, Atrisco, La Cueva, all of those guys. We saw good threats. Good matchups against us. So.
As the season kind of went on, especially down the stretch in that district, I mean, that's when I said, okay, if anyone's going to beat them, it's going to have to be Atrisco, right? Like, that was my thought, right? But then you guys have these close games with Atrisco, but they all end the same, right? Like, where they get this close, and then you guys finish the deal. But they were certainly a team that played you guys tough throughout the year. Talk about that.
Yeah, they're a really good team. They got some really good players, with Tay and Keese, are their motors, and it's hard to game plan against them just because you don't know what to expect with them, like what shots are going to go in, like who's going to go off. But they're just a really tough team, and their biggest thing is they play hard. The whole 32 minutes they play hard, so that's what helps them a lot.
Get to the pit, right? Certainly, some games ended the way we thought they would. Others didn't. But obviously, you guys make your way through the bracket. I remember somebody came up to us upstairs and where we were broadcasting from, and the guy, I don't know the guy, he asked me, he's like, well, what has to happen here for Volcano to lose tomorrow, right? And I was like, well, what has to happen is what never happens. Kenyon has to have a bad game. And it seems like that just never happens. Like, when you guys need it, especially on that pit floor, and we'll get to that, how comfortable of a home you have there at the pit in a minute. But on that floor, on that stage, you just don't have bad games. Talk about that.
Since a little kid, you always want to play in the big moments, the big games, and just trying to feel comfortable and just trying to be as confident as possible. And then, just like I said earlier, just with all the support and all the trust I have from my teammates and my coaches, it's just really hard not to succeed.
So every year, while Coach Patino is off at Vegas trying to win a Mountain West Conference tournament, you've kind of turned the pit into your personal playground there, right? Now, I'm going to be fully transparent. I've heard some rumors on the street that there's interest, but have you heard from UNM?
I heard from them a little. They went to some of my practices during the preseason, but hopefully you hear from them now.
Like, you already have that giant fan club from up north. How huge would it be if you could represent your home school on that floor wearing a Lobo uniform?
It'd be crazy. It'd be just like you said, all the support that I have. It'd just be unreal. In
the meantime, what else is there to do, right? Like, you have one more year. That's the amazing part, right? Like, and I know you're just going to keep your head down and work. You're going to probably win another state title. If I had to bet, you're probably going to win another Gatorade, right? But I know you just kind of keep your head down and work, right?
Yeah, just trying to, not trying to. I don't like being really out there like a lot, but just trying to just stay within my own. Just always put in work, always get better, just help everybody out.
And I think that's the thing. Like, whether it be Coach Patino or whether it be insert college coach here, like, yeah, they're not only getting the most decorated player we have, but everyone I talk to says, yeah, they're also getting the best teammate, right? Like, you are universally known as just an amazing teammate, right? Like, talk about that. What goes into that?
Yeah, just I feel like just growing up, all the AU teams that I've been on, I've had great coaches. They've always, just been about that, being a great teammate. And then once I got here to Volcano, it just fit in really good because Coach Brown's all about that, being a good teammate, helping everybody out, because at Volcano, it's just whenever somebody's always helping you out.
Right.
So just, returning the favor, being a good teammate. So.
Well, we'll be watching you again, especially for that Skyhook next year. And, best of luck. ProView Networks is big-time team, Big Smooth all the way. So thanks for coming in.
Sir, thank you.
Hopefully we'll talk again next year maybe, right? Make it an annual thing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.